But so even the first time that I joined the meeting, I was a bit like, okay, let me just join and find out what I will learn. And amazingly, I picked so much that really helped me, such that even my husband noticed. So at the time, at the long time, when we were a bit calm, because we didn't have meeting for a time, he called me one day and said, "Why your wife's meeting? It's as if you people have not been meeting." because because I noticed that that's the thing they used to teach you, you have changed small inside. You have changed small inside. You people have not been meeting. Who is there? You supposed to be meeting so that that kind of thing. And I was like, praise God. So that's to tell you how progressive it's been. That
Mhm.
even he noticed, and
Praise God.
it's been awesome. I've learned so much. I've applied it, and, and it's been beautiful. Such that my husband now wants me to be having meeting every day, having classes every
Mhm.
day.
Mm.
And when the classes, and anything you say, I don't think you people should go and meet again. So they'll be teaching you that
Mm.
thing again. It's been fun.
Mm.
Thank you so,
That's
so
nice.
much. Thank you so much,
That's
everyone.
That's beautiful. All right. Is there anyone that wants to voluntarily say something, even though we've not called your name? Is there something you think you want to share with us so that we
Okay,
hear?
Oh,
Hello?
okay.
Go on, please.
can you hear me?
Yes, we
I
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Okay, all I want to say that I've learned from you that I learned something along the line. Normally, a lady is one always being toasted by a guy or by the husband, and
Mm-hmm.
takes a process. So this time around, we should be
Mm.
the one toasting our husband and not wait for the husband to toast us. You just see yourself toasting your husband every time.
Mm.
So that's what I learned so
That's
far.
fabulous.
Mm. Great. I like the way you put it, toasting your husband, because a lot of you were raised that the man should be the one doing the toasting. This is what I tell young ladies. As they hungry you, collect them. Don't wait. Don't starve yourself. Do you understand? When you require attention from your husband, don't assume that he's a mind reader, that he's supposed to know. You are setting up yourself for some form of issues. If you want it, go for it and make a request for it. You want him to lap you, tell him, honey, just carry me, just sit on his lap. You want him to hold you, just take his hand and wrap it around yourself. You want him to, because the more you do that, the more he starts to understand. Then you now find that he starts to do it more often. Do you understand? For a lot of you, your husband love you and respect you, and especially because of that respect, there are certain things he does not want to initiate, lest you think that he does not have control over himself. But when you initiate certain things like that, you bring down the walls. He's not able to dare to continue. And even for some that don't continue, the more you do it, you are programming him, without him knowing. Then sooner than later, it becomes something that he does. Let me give a clear instance. For some of you, I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but for some of you, you probably cannot remember the last time your husband was walking past you and hit your bum bum. Why? Because you are now too spiritual for him to do something that carnal. Please, am I still being heard?
Loud and clear, sir.
Great, great. You as a wife don't even position yourself for him to do a thing like that. But it's a show of affection. It does not stop your level of tongues or your level of spirituality. It doesn't stop the spirit of God from talking to you when he needs to talk to you. But maybe he did it once and you tell him, stop that, how can you be doing that, or something, and you killed that fire. You know so you can even ask him that, "Oh, why don't you even tap my bum bum self? Is it that it's not rightly placed? Is it too small? Is it too big? Is it annoying?" Provoke him righteously. You need to position yourself in such a way that your spouse is sensually attracted to you. That is your responsibility. You need to put him in a place where when he sees you, his mouth starts to water. You can't do that wearing that old pajamas that he bought for you when you people were still dating. You can't. Now, the reason why I'm starting this way is because I was having a conversation with our host, I think it was yesterday, and I pointed out to her that one of the things I would like for us to talk about is three important things that women need to know. You know, first of it is number one on the list, the very number one is sex is important to your husband. It is not, it's not, what will I use? It's not a side thought. It's not an afterthought. It's not something, it's not a coping mechanism, something he does to cope. It's not, it's an essential. It is top on his list. For some men, it's more important than food. And God help you if your spouse is one of those that this is more important to him than food. Do you get it? So you need to position yourself in such a way that you don't set yourself up wrongly. Please, if you need to unmute your mic, unmute so that I'm hearing some form of ambience so that I'm sure that I'm being heard. All right. Don't feel, but please open up your mics. I would like for your mics to be open. Okay. So it gives me the feeling that I'm not talking to myself, that I'm talking with people. Host, please, can you please help me? As
Yes,
many as
yes, sir.
possible, open up your mics. It's okay, even if
Okay.
you have your kids there. Okay. Unless where you are is extremely noisy, then okay, I can understand. All right, so yeah, it's extremely important to us men. And you say, no, my husband is not like that. Let me give you feedback on that statement. You lie. And the fact that you do not understand that is that important to him is the reason why you keep playing with it. You think is a non-essential. If only you know how important it is to him, you would not treat it as non-essential. It is very important, very capital letter, emboldened, underlined, italicized. Very important. And the moment you understand that, you are able to understand the amount of sacrifice he's going through, just allowing you have your way with regards that. I said, a man is wired to be able to have sex at least twice a day for 7 days, all the days of his life, up until when he hits 100. He can. Do you get it? But the women like you, wise women, you probably are wired or you wired yourself to be able to handle it at best, maybe 3 times a week. And that is a very glorious week. Very glorious week. We have to throw a party. We have to celebrate you and thank you for graciously allowing us 3 times a week. For someone that is wired to do at least twice a day, 7 days a week, and you give the person only 3 times a week, imagine how many, less than 30%, maybe even 15%. And you think you are doing him a favor. After all, last week was just once. Now, this week I gave him 3 times. He should be happy. And you're wondering why he's always grumpy. And you're wondering why he looks like he's always excited and smiling when a younger species comes around. These are things that we should learn to do. Now, I also added when I was talking to her that there are certain things that are responsibilities of the different parts of the family. There are things that are the responsibilities of the man. There are things that are the responsibility of the woman. There are things that are the responsibility of the children, right? Everybody needs to do what is their responsibility. It's a need. Do you get it? It's a need. Hold on 1 minute, 1 moment. All right, so I'm back. So I'm saying um provisioning or providing of sex, it's a need that the woman is responsible for. It is not whether she likes it, it's not whether she feels like it. It's a need. And I'm capitalizing on this because we are very spiritual people. We tend not to think that this is important because we think it's carnal. For some ladies, they think it's only there to produce babies. No, it was created by God, not by the devil. Do you get it? So it's very, very important for a man. It is actually, it could be classified this way. It is vital for the sanity of the man. So you want your husband to be acting like he's crazy or he's beside himself. Starve him of it. It's okay. You are going to be the first recipient. You want him to always be happy and always doing things for you and responding to you and giving you the things you want. Try giving it to him consistently for the period of the next 1 month and take a stock of his demeanor, his responses, and all that. The months that you treated him well, and the other months where you starved him of it, then you be the judge. Then someone will say, if I give him too much, will that not backfire? And I ask you, what is your idea of too much? How do you measure it? At what point do you call it too much? Because for a man, from a man's perspective, there's no such thing. Then discuss it. Don't just do it and just walk away. Talk about it. Make jokes about it. Make it something that you guys can have conversations over and not feel awkward about it. Did I do it well? Did I pose well? Did it satisfy you? Oh, you would have done this like this. Oh, you would have done this like that. Be able to see if you are not free enough to have those conversations. That means there are secrets you are able to keep from each other. If you cannot talk about something this basic with each other, that means we are able to keep deadly secrets from each other. You should be able to tell him, oh no, the way you did it this way hurt me. It would have been better if you did it this other way. Can you do it this other way? When you are having it, you should be able to talk when you're having it. Tell him, slow down, do this one, do that one. Have conversations during, before, and after so that it gets better. Because you see, if you cannot do this now that you are this young, if Jesus tarry and you grow up to be 60 years old, how would your husband cope? Because at 60, you'll not even be able to do anything for him anymore. So it's advised that you build your love language, you build your sex language now that you are young, so that as you advance, you are able to improve on how you are able to cope with it and do well, and it gets better. It's like wine, it gets sweeter with time. But if you don't, then it will be like milk, it gets soured with time. It is important. Don't weaponize it. If he behaves well, you give it to him. If he does not behave well, you don't give it to him because he made you angry. He touches you at night and you say, leave me, Joe. Newsflash, what you do not know is he does not have to ask you for it because he can get it everywhere else. And that might sound strange. I know my husband is born again, or my husband is a pastor, is a deacon. My husband loves me, my husband does that. You can tell yourself all that as much as you care. But the truth is, all those things you tend to be starving him of, especially sex, he does not even need to go far to get it. There are girls lined up outside your door, willing for him to just wink at them. And some of you might be thinking, is it not this husband that I know? He will never even finish waiting their house. Now, one way they outside. These girls outside, they will fund it. They are willing to fund it. So he does not. He always just needs to come. Just come down, lie down, and just pose, and they will do the rest. Trust me, I know. So as together as you think I am, I still get those kind of offers left, right, and center. So if you think your husband is not tall, your husband is not fine, your husband does not have money, that would stop it from happening. It's not true. So I'm saying it because that have been the source of certain form of dispute in families, and spouses don't even know that that is why they're having the issues that they have. But if you clear that out, then it opens the room, the space for many other things to come in. Many other form of communications would ride in. Someone sent a message, how do you deal with tough husbands? Husband that will do something and not apologize. This is one way to deal with it. No matter how tough a man is, When he knows that the way my wife said they give me, it is uniquely unique. He will not be tough towards you. He might be tough to every other person, but when it comes to you, once you just rub his back or you just rub your hand, just brush his neck, his senses just comes alive. And anything you tell him, he just say, okay. You tell him, that thing that you did, I not like you. Say, oh, yeah, sorry now. He will apologize to you in a hurry, like a baby. That is what happens when men meet their sugar girl or sugar whatever. What do you think the girls do to get money from them? They just rub their head and just sit on their lap and just form their baby. What is stopping you from doing that? You think you are very busy. You think you are too grown for it to sit on his lap. You think you are too busy to rub his head. You are too spiritual. You are not. And you see, someone said earlier about how men wants to be taken care of. They want the wife to be like their mother. It's not exactly true. On the contrary, men don't want you to be their mother. Men want you to be their steward. They want you to wait on them, not wait for them. Wait on it like a waiter waits on someone. The men. Thank you very much. Men want you to wait on them. They don't want you to challenge them. They don't want you to be the one after they finish fighting the rest of the world, they come back and they have to still contend with you. You need to give their life a value. You need to be able to make life easier when they get home. That is where they unwind. No matter the stress they are feeling in the office, the moment they get to you, everything changes. Why? Because you know what to do, what to say, how to say. When was the last time any of you gave your husband foot massage? You don't think he deserves it, right? In the place where you're giving him a foot massage, you can probably request for anything, all the way to John the Baptist's head, and you have it on a platter of gold. All those things you've been willing to ask from him or tell him or talk to him about, these are the places where you can have it done. These are places where you can make those requests and you will have a listening ear. Do you get it? So working with a man, getting their attention and having them cooperate with you doesn't take much. You just did not know before now. You just did not know. It does not take much, really, believe me. So I'm going to pause at this point and I'm going to open the floor. I want to hear your your views because I say it's an interactive class. I want to know the part that you are not clear about, the part that you have questions about, the part that shocked you, the part that you already know. Just let me know what you think about what we talked about so far. So, Madam Host, over to you. Let me hear.
Thank you very much. So, anybody going first? You can just unmute and speak.
Okay, I'd like to
Okay,
say something.
Fatima, I would like
Okay.
to where the coach said, I mentioned that earlier that men like to be
Okay.
to
Baby,
the
You
the
baby.
want to
mother.
clarify the hair? All right, fine.
Yeah. What I mean, I didn't mean the fact that okay, maybe they want to be called. What I mean is that they want all the love that a mother can give,
Hmm.
all the attention
No,
that a
they
mother
don't.
can
No,
give.
no, no. They see. Let me tell you, we ran from the love that mother can give. We ran from it. I'm telling you. So anytime you look like our mom, you already get the left hand of fellowship from us. Don't try to look like our mom. Let me tell you what you want to look like. Look like that sissy down the street that we normally use corner eye to look at when we are passing. That is what we
Yes,
want.
sir.
Not don't make us remember our mom. No, that's not what we want. We've had enough of our mom before we married you. We had our mom and yet we went for you. So
Yes,
we're
sir.
not trying to look for another mom. And yes, we
Hmm.
want you to cuddle us like our babe, not rock us like our mom. You
Yes,
get it? When you
yes, sir.
call your
Yes,
husband and
sir.
your first question is, where are you? You immediately trigger the mom syndrome. Don't ask us where are you.
Mm-hmm.
Ask us
Mm-hmm.
how are you. Are you okay? Have you
Mm-hmm.
eaten?
Mm.
Yes, don't start with where are you. The men are the ones that will start with where are you because they are responsible for you. They are your
Mm.
head, so they can ask where are you. Women shouldn't start the conversation with where are you. How dare you? Who's boss? Do you call your boss in the office and say, "Ma, where are you?" You don't.
Bam, 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 bam.
Why don't you ask your boss in the office when you call her, "Where are you?" I would like one of you
Mm.
to try it. Say, "Ma, where are you?" and see what
So
the response will be.
sorry, if I want to now genuinely find out where my husband is, I should
You
call him
don't
as
you,
that.
you don't start it in the conversation. Find out how he is first, so that that is not his attention will not be at where are you. You find out how he is. Honey, how are you doing? You know, I was just doing so and so thing, and I thought of you now, and I thought to find out if everything is okay with you. So where are you exactly? So his attention is not now that you are trying to police him. You've already informed him why you are concerned before you now want to find out where exactly he is. Yeah.
Mm,
Wisdom,
okay.
wisdom. Mm.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll have to pause. I'm coming.
Okay. All right, that was amazing. And then to
Wow.
pick something new from there. All right, who else wants to go again? Somebody was trying to say something.
It's me. I just said now. Wow.
Why you sound as if somebody beat you?
Eh? Not small to do.
No be small thing. They didn't tell you all this one, Abby.
Try,
Even
in
in
fact, I
counseling
think
class, we didn't get this. Oh,
yes, because
Yeah.
I sincerely, I'm actually guilty of this because I kept asking, "Oh, where are you?" And the response, and I could, from what you're saying, I could tell that okay, it's actually a wrong question to ask
You
where
don't
are
you notice
you.
that they always react somehow whenever you ask them where are
Honestly,
you,
Yeah,
they, and
uh,
you're
yes,
wondering
sir.
why they are reacting that way. This is
I
the
actually,
reason why you are sounding like our
I
mother. Why?
actually think it's the way you ask the question. Let me give you an instance. If I call
Okay.
my husband now and I'm like, "Hey, bro, what's up? How you doing now? Where you
Mhm.
dey?" There's a way I can actually it's actually the tone that will determine the where are you can actually come first, but if you know yourself and if you know your way, you can actually ask that and it will come back as in with the response. I mean, I can ask where are you, but very romantically, I don't know.
No, but let me tell you, whenever you start it with where are you, right? It's
Mm,
difficult for you to romantically ask a man, where are you? Unless there is founded on a pre-existing conversation. I'll give you an
mm,
instance. If a guy
mm,
is going to see his girlfriend, married
mm,
or married, is going to see his girlfriend, they're already chatting. So the girlfriend already knows that he's on his way. So when the girlfriend now says, "Where are you?" he knows that it's an update because the girlfriend knows that he's coming. So he's not offended. But you both of you have not spoken in hours. There is no foundational conversation. Then the first conversation you're having is you just send him a message and say, "Where are you? You be police? Why do you want to know?" So he sees that as you think he's cheating. You want to police him. You want to find out. You want to do all that. Do you get it? So if you have to do it, they have to be a foundational conversation to to buffer that so that he knows the reason why, because his mind is already, the moment you say where are you, the man is thinking like 21 different things. Why is she asking? Why does she want to know? Did I do anything? Where am I now? Is it that she's seeing me where I am? She wants to know that I'm going to say the truth. He's thinking all that, righteous or not righteous. This is the way the man is wired. But if you're already giving him idea of the reason why you are asking, I hope I can still be heard, then he does not feel like you are policing him.
mm.
That's why you don't start with that first. You give him, shake him off it. Give him, let his mind go to where you're actually going to. If there's a challenge you want him to fix, talk about it first. So and so person called me, they need me to come and pick up a tomato and all this, that. Please, where are you? So that he knows that, oh, you're asking because you want to find out whether he's close to where he can help you pick up the tomatoes. Do you get?
Mm.
Or Maybe it's one of those days where you think you want to give him plenty sugar and you've already prepared yourself and it feels like it's taking too long. You start with, babe, if you see what I'm wearing right now, I bought this cloth or this thing because of you, blah, 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 blah. Where are you? Me, I'm waiting. Oh. So his
Mhm.
mind is not on the where are you, his mind is in the reason why. Because men fix things. Men works with why. They work with purpose. So while you are thinking emotionally, they are thinking purpose. They're thinking, why do you want to know? All right, so let's go on. Next person, what have you gotten so far? Really?
Okay.
Okay. I'm shaking table, Abby. Hello.
Taking the table and you're not even pitching the table. Sef.
No, no, the table, you are the one that's more important. The table is not so important. You are important. By the time you start reaping the fruit of it, I'm sure you're not coming back to tell me, see what in the apple, the hammer for you. I will not be there with you. You are the first beneficiary.
We deal with
And
you,
maybe
sir.
the
Not together.
only beneficiary because this part none of us can share with you.
Okay.
Bele.
Please, sir.
Mm.
All right, so next person, let's hear.
Please, I said
Okay, I'd
good.
like to ask
Good
something.
evening.
Okay, you're already
I'd like
talking.
to,
Finish. Then the person that's talking with you now will go on next.
okay, as at what point does a man require rest?
Rest from what?
Rest from all the love, 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 love. As at what point does it require rest?
When he went to work, he was
Because
resting.
normally that was outing, movement.
So if your husband is someone that likes football, for instance, that is time for him to rest. If your husband is the one that have other recreational
Okay.
activity, that's time for him to rest. But when he's with you, for instance, he's with you, you are the one to give value to your time with him. That is where the strength of a woman is. If you give more value with the time he spends with you, he would want to spend more time with you. He would even pick you over the football, the premiership. You are the one to give value to your time, and giving value does not mean you say now you have to spend 4 hours with you. Okay, if he spends the 4 hours with you, what will he be doing with you? Is it that he's going to sit down hearing to you complain about what he's not doing right? Is it that what how is your time, that time he wants to spend with you, valuable? For those of you that have husbands that drink beer, have you ever gotten him a case of his favorite beer with maybe fried meat or something, so that he sees that people are gisting over? It could be gisting over nothing. He's taking his beer. He say, brother Sam, we're Christians, so you can't talk about beer. But your husband drinks beer anyway, and you know. If it is malt that he takes, if he's the one that takes soft drink, what does your husband like? And you make it a thing to share that time with him. So I'm not saying this so that every time people meet is sex, sex, sex. No. But how do you make the time that he's spending with you qualitative? It's your responsibility. You are the one to turn the house into a home, a safe space for him, where he's always looking forward to coming back to. Some husbands, when they close from work, they will go round and go round and go round, so that by the time they get to the house, the only thing they get to do is take their bath and sleep. Why? Meanwhile, there are some where 1 hour to the time they're already running up everything they need to do because they have to go home. They have to go home. As if the woman is running away. They have to go home. Which would you rather be? The wife that the husband is running to, or the wife that the husband is running from? All right. Yeah. There was someone that the voice was sounding distant. I wanted to say something earlier. Please, I'd like to hear what you want to
Yes,
say.
yes. I wanted to say something, but I wrote it on the chat.
Please, just because as I'm talking to you now, I'm actually driving, so I can't read through what
Oh,
you're saying. So please bear with me. You have to read it out, and maybe you try to be a little louder. The voice is sounding really far.
Let me read the question out.
Please do.
So it says, please, in a situation where your husband is a pastor and he tells you
Yeah.
that, honey, not now, I'm fasting or for tomorrow or tomorrow's service. What do you
Hmm.
do?
Okay. First and foremost, there are many days in the week, right? It's not fair that okay, it's now when he is ready to fast for his church. That is when you are getting honey. That I understand. But there is a scripture already for that that says, fast and pray except to when your wife requires services. You put the fast on side, take care of her, then you can continue the fast. Now, people tend to think that sex is carnal. So when they are doing spiritual exercise, they tend to take sex away because they think sex is carnal. Sex is spiritual. It's not. It's more spiritual than even carnal, because that's one of the miracles of being married, where two becomes one, right? So stop tagging. That's why a lot of people don't talk about sex. They've tagged it as carnal. All right. It's a spiritual act in itself. Okay, so it does not defile your what's it called, fasting or your time with the Lord. No, it does not exactly do it. But if you feel like it does, then what you do is tell him to tell you when. So okay, let us book a date. Now you need to understand that for some people they think sex needs to be spontaneous. I don't think so. It can be spontaneous, but it does not need to be spontaneous. You can actually plan for it. So if that time is not a good time, just like for women, they have a lot of not so good time, right? So you can meet and say, okay, you know what? Monday evening, we're going to have our special time. So since Friday or Saturday evening is not working, we can now have it on Monday evening or Tuesday evening. You can now plan towards it. Now, between that day and the day you plan, you can start sex testing. Start sending him arousing messages. Start doing arousing stuff so that it waters his taste bud in preparation for what is going to happen. Do you get it? So
Mhm.
I hope I answered your question.
Yes.
Okay. So now before the next one comes up, I need to explain this. A lot of times, one of the reasons why a lot of women tend to treat sex like it's a chore, like it's work, is because a lot of them have never had the pleasure of climaxing. I don't know if you know what that means. Please, if you don't know, can you just ask me now so I can explain it further? Do you know what that means? It's not.
Yes,
There's
I
nothing
do.
shameful to say you don't know what that
No,
means.
I
Is
know
there
what that
anybody here?
means. People
Okay.
can speak
Yes,
for
I
them
do.
too.
Okay. So the idea is a lot of people do not have the opportunity of getting to that level when they have sexual intercourse with their husband, either because their husband does not even know about it, does not know what to do, and they feel awkward having to explain or tell him or teach him, or maybe their husband came a little too early than he needed to have come, or whatever, right? So it's not an experience that they experience regularly, but it should be an experience that you experience regularly. It should be. So make it a habit. Make it a habit of experiencing sex regularly.
Can anybody see here, Uncle Sam? I can't hear him.
Please, is it my audio or is network?
Okay, I think it's his network.
Oh, okay.
Atamaka, now you be that. I know, say now you.
Mami o. Why na only me you see for dis room, why you dey call my name?
I know, say now you. You be my sister. I know, say now
Hold
you.
your peace there.
Eh?
Hold
I
your
know
peace.
you.
My my table has been shattered.
Mhm.
Let's look for Uncle Sabo. Okay, I think he logged out. Probably is going to come in now. But it's been an amazing class so far.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, I got cut off. I told you I was driving.
I
Sorry.
came
I
in
Yes.
don't
late.
know the last thing that you said. Are you there?
Yes, we're talking about climaxing. Yes, that was where
Hello,
you.
can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Can you hear us?
Hello?
I can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay, I'm trying to connect to my Bluetooth so that because I'm not supposed to. Hold on, please. Hello.
We can hear you, sir.
Okay, great. Like I said, I'm actually driving. My Bluetooth went off, so I'm having to hold it in my hand. But what was the last thing you heard me say, please?
Auntie Amaka.
Hmm? Primacy.
They're laughing
Wetin
at me.
dey do? Wetin dey do? You stop to.
Hello, are we there?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Yeah, so I said, what was the last thing? Because I don't know where the network went off.
You're
Okay,
asking
yeah.
us if we
So
know what
yo,
it
so
means.
I said, yeah, 'cause a lot of ladies do not have the pleasure of having that experience regularly. So and because they don't, it feels like oh they are doing it to just please their husband. They don't see their own pleasure in it also. So just like they take care of the children, they just one more thing that they do to take care of the man. It does not have to be that way. It can actually be something pleasure, something that woman looks forward to because she too also gets the time of relief from it. And I told her, I said, see, medically speaking, it has been proven that it helps both the male and the female to combat stress. It has helped for what's it called? Rejuvenation, which means it helps to maintain aging. So you don't age as fast. There are a lot of medical what's it called benefits that come with it. There are a lot of research that have shown there are a lot of benefit from coming from having regular sexual intercourse, satisfactory regular sexual intercourse with your mates. So it's something that is encouraged for you to practice. It is not a sin, it is not carnal, it is not a bad thing, you know. So that said, so yeah,
Hmm.
let's hear the next one. My people,
So
yeah. Good evening, ma.
it's so good to hear your voice again. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, always good to hear yours too.
Okay, though I'll be it's not sex talk, but sorry, I
Okay.
want to ask for a friend so that I wanted to add her to this group, but she's not online.
Okay.
Um, she okay, she has a guy, and she has always felt that communication has always been a situation for them.
Mm.
So, and she had always said that it wasn't like this before. It has not always been this way when they were still trying to manage. Let me put it that way. But now he
Mm.
seems like the guy has money, and he feels that giving her money, buying her gifts, surpasses the regular checkup calls and all that. And now they are planning to get married, but she's concerned that this is not what she wants. It's good that he's providing for her, but he hardly calls. They can stay for 1 week without talking to each other, 4 days, 5 days. So she reached out, like she was really complaining and all that. So I told her that she should be the one, she should call as well. She said she's not going to call, that every time she tries to talk about it, they end up quarreling, she end up raising her voice, that she really doesn't know what to do, and for that reason she thinks she would be delaying the marriage, because um, marriage is a lot more than relationship. So I want to ask for your advice. Maybe our next meeting, I can invite her in for the meeting. So whatever you say now, I would pass it over to her. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so why the wife is actually for married people? Getting married person. Among the best friends. What I normally ask ladies to always, and both ladies and guys, right, but this time I'm addressing ladies. I always tell them, try to pick a guy that have someone that they respect, right? That you know, right? In my own instance, my wife knows the people that she knows that if those people talk to me, I will not argue. I will just take whatever they say. She knows those people. Number one on that list is so like it's my wife knows that if she says Mobility is calling me, whatever it is, I'll start rearranging my head already. Because Mobility does not mind whether we're in public or not. If she needs to knock my head, she'll knock my head, and I cannot argue. She has earned it 100 times over. There are a few more people on that list that I don't argue. It's just yes, sir, yes, sir. So I have people in my life that I respect on that level. So you always want to ensure that you are setting someone that have this kind of people, not people that don't have anyone to talk to them or that can address them. Because in a matter like this, the quickest and shortest way to sort it out is bring it before the person's mentors or someone that he or she respects. That person, because no matter what she says, he's going to always think like she's not understanding, she's biased, she's this, she's that. It's
Okay.
difficult to convince your spouse when he's in that kind of state, especially when he believes he's doing what is best for you and him. It's difficult. But when the
Mm.
correction is coming from someone that he or she respects, it just happens like magic. I'm mom is sorry, so I didn't say it like that, or that is sorry, no sorry. That's not this is what I did. This is what I thought. I didn't think it like this. Then even if the lady was the one that was not even getting what's happening, this person would help correct the lady also. So it's a win-win.
Okay.
You get it. So that's what I would advise. That
Yeah.
to me is like the fastest way to go about it. Every other way would seem long. So if there is someone in their life that they both respect, and listen to, the person is the best
Mm.
person to help them break out this conversation.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
All right. I would relate
Right.
this to. Thank you.
Okay. So who's next?
Hello, Uncle Sam.
Ma.
While while we were talking, a thought just came to my mind. Okay,
Please share.
you were talking about you were talking about sex being one of the basis for a healthy relationship, which is
Yeah, for a
of course a
man.
beautiful one. Yes, for a man, which is beautiful and awesome. But then, where both parties are not together for a while, okay,
Mm, mm,
for me, I think there should be other ways where um the relationship can still be very beautiful, very sweet, and then each
mm,
looking towards meeting up,
mm.
to rather than for me, I don't think is I don't know, but I think in as much as sex is there, it's beautiful. But I also think there are other ingredients beyond the sex, like what you rightly
Give me
said.
two things. Give me two things that you
Okay,
think.
there was something you said.
Mm-hmm.
A when you were talking about, it's not every time we sit together you're just talking about sex, 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 and other things. I
Mm,
believe there's something called more like companionship. Okay, where
mm,
you sit together. I'm
mm,
talking from my own experience. Okay,
mm-hmm.
my
Mm,
husband and I, we can chat for hours, as in
mm-hmm.
hours, just chatting,
Mm-hmm.
talking, about
Mm-hmm.
different things. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't get tired. And for
Mm-hmm.
me, it's beautiful. And then,
Mm-hmm.
and she can tell me anything. I can tell him anything.
Mm,
Okay, even
mm,
sometimes,
mm,
even where he even gets to see. In fact, there are some of his ex that I've got to meet. There are some of
mm,
them that we talk, and they've even become my friend, even more than. Do you understand? So I think
mm,
relation sex is beautiful, but
mm,
for us as women,
mm,
beyond the sex, there are certain
mm,
qualities that Pastor
mm,
Chris said something, investing in your personality. I think there are certain character attributes and qualities that we should also put in ourselves that would
Mm,
also build that relationship. Because I've seen
mm.
people that when the relationship is not there, even the sex becomes very annoying. Okay, when both parties are
Uh,
angry, they are
from
pissed
from
off.
the woman perspective, sex can be annoying. From a man's perspective, sex is never annoying.
Even when he's not happy with the wife, or he's not happy with things
Even when he's
around,
not
or he
happy.
feels interested.
Well, the deal is this. No, no. See, let me tell you. Let me tell you. That's the reason why a man can sleep with the housemaid. It's not because they have any what's it called with the housemaid. Is he having any conversation with the housemaid? Is he having all those things with the housemaid? No, it's not. Do you understand? The way that's why I said the way men see it and the way women see it. And we're not talking about how to please a woman now. We're talking about how to please a man. So women are the
Okay.
ones that talk about those companionship because you see, we're going to talk about this part of it. That's supposed to be number two, where we talk about respect and communication. That's the aspect where what you're talking about falls under. And I pray we're able
Oh,
to get to that point. Right. So there is
okay.
respect and communication in the things we're going to talk about today. Right. But you see, the reason why I'm hammering on this is because of the way women interpret this aspect. They tend to play down on it a lot. Even when your husband is angry with you, wear just pant and just walk past him and see how much angry he would be. Do you get it? Men are wired that we are visual. Do you get it? So if you now want to go in the area of companionship, that requires even more work because now you have to talk to the man intelligently. Now, when you say what is talking to the man, you have to go and read books. No, you have to talk to him in a language he understands. If he's a sports-ish person, someone that is into sports, how much of sports can you talk with him? If he's an academic person, how much of academics can you talk with him? If he's a business person, how much of business can you talk with him? Can you engage him in a business conversation for 2 hours and talk about it in such a way that that business conversation sounds like fun? It does not feel like work. Because when us guys come together, that is what happens. That's why guys can sit down to hang out and hang out for 5 hours. Because we're talking about sports. We don't talk about sports like it is work. We talk about sports like it's fun. When we're talking business, we talk about business like it's fun. Whatever we're talking about, we talk about it from a standpoint of it being fun. That's why we're able to talk about it for hours on ending. So, are you able to talk about these things to, like you said, you and your husband have a very good connection, so you can talk about anything and it is fun. And the reason why you're able to talk about it for a long time because you have made it fun. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so I don't know if I'm still being heard.
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
So
true.
so
You're
that's the
correct.
thing. Yeah. The moment you're not able to talk about it in a way where it is fun filled for him, he becomes bored. Then he wants to quickly round up whatever people are saying and go about other things that are fun for him. Remember, you are supposed to be his safety. You're not supposed to be chores for him. You're not supposed to be work for him. You're supposed to be where he comes, where he feels safe, where he feels relaxed and all that. Don't make him hanging around with you work. If you do that, you lose him. So each time he's thinking about it from a point of responsibility. So it shouldn't be that way. It should be fun. It should be relieving. It should be rejuvenating. You should see you and feel like, time for me to reset, not the other way around. Good afternoon. So next question.
Uncle Sam, I asked a question on the platform. I was like, how do one deal with an irresponsible husband? Because I've had opportunity to talk with women, and sometimes I wonder why they find themselves marrying such men because they are more of a marital
Sorry, say,
pain,
how
regret
do women deal with
than
what? Sorry, I didn't hear that first part.
marital
Say,
bliss.
how do women
Hello?
deal with what? Say that again. Say, how do
Irres-
women deal with what?
irresponsible husbands, bomb boy. Men,
How did they attract Bomboy?
okay, for example, let
Mm,
me give a scenario. One of
please
the
do.
scenario is sometimes friendship things and other things, and before
Mm-hmm.
you know it, either they find themselves pregnant along the line, and then both families
Mm.
said, "Oh, you have to get married" and stuff like that.
Mm.
Which,
Mm.
in one of those cases I was handling, I was like, if I was the girl's parent, I wouldn't
Mm.
even have insisted that she married the guy, in as much as
Mm.
pregnancy is on the way.
Who
Yes,
will not take
because
the tokumbo that they have created?
ah, because now even the children and the everybody is how many several years along the line,
Mm-hmm.
the whole family is still going through the challenge of
Why did
the
she
meeting
spread her
of the
legs for someone? Please let me cut in. Let
that,
me cut in. I'm
that,
sorry, I'm cutting in.
that's the challenge.
Let me.
Then now young teenagers, they think most times we find out that all of these people they find themselves married. I think that's why it's marriage should even be for the mature and responsible basically. Teenagers they think that it's all about friendship and stuff like that.
Teenagers are
And
not to be
like one
blamed. Teenagers are not to be blamed. The problem is not with the teenagers. The problem, when a device have a challenge, you don't blame the
yeah,
device, you blame the manufacturer, right?
okay.
Good. So
So
when a
like
teenager have an issue,
yeah,
you don't blame the teenager, you blame the manufacturer. It is the manufacturer that failed. It is not the teenager that failed. So you need to address these things from its roots. Now, right now, all of you in the room right now are manufacturers. You need to know what you
yeah.
need to know so that you are able to produce good products, so that you don't have this kind of scenarios that you are talking about right now. The
Hmm.
challenge of the scenario you are talking about started a generation before, a generation earlier, not in that generation. And I'll explain with like two different scenarios. One, with that kind of pregnancy thing, the parents failed. Why? I'll take myself for instance. I was still a teenager when my mom sat myself and my brothers and sisters together and taught us sex education by herself. She did not leave it to television. She did not leave it to the biology textbooks. She taught it to us by herself. And she told us expressly, I am teaching you this now so that you know you will not act in ignorance. I will tell you not to have sex before marriage. But should you choose to have sex before marriage, don't come back here and tell me that you mistakenly impregnated anyone. Why? Because if you do, you will stop school and raise that child. And we knew she was not joking. My mom is the type that she says that will kill you. She's not exaggerating. She will literally kill you. So we knew she was not playing. So we had ground rules. Sex is not a bad thing, like I've been saying. So she taught us, she made us know from teenage level. I already knew sex was not a bad thing. If you think you are grown up enough to have sex, then you are grown up enough to take the consequences. You lay on the bed that you made. So that said, that person have made her bed. She should lie on it. And let me tell you the second part of it. Okay, so you say if you're the parent, you wouldn't have allowed her marry the guy because of whatever the excuse is. Now that lady that now have a baby, you now expect her to be taken on by another guy, an innocent guy. Then that innocent guy will now be responsible for taking care of this baby that she got from another guy. So she becomes the girl's sponsor, she becomes the baby's sponsor, the baby's guardian, the baby everything, but not the baby's father. So when decisions about the baby that has to do with the baby's father comes on, believe it or not, he will not be given the chance to take that decision. Because if he beats that child the way he will beat his child, that same woman will say, please don't keep my child from you. So he has all the responsibilities of the father, but he does not have the privileges of the father. Who is going to go through that? That is something that a lot of women don't know. When a guy is being asked to marry a lady that already has a child, this is what we think about. I'm taking all the responsibilities, but do I take all the privileges? No. The privileges are not given to me, just the responsibilities. And that's not fair. Someone said that's slavery. And truthfully, that's what it is. Do you get it? So let's go back to the original question. A girl or a woman marrying a guy that is a bomb boy. My question is, how did you get entangled with a bomb boy in the first place? Did your mother not teach you how to get a responsible guy? Why are you acting surprised that the guy is irresponsible? Did you not know that he was irresponsible before you decided to marry him? Why are you acting shocked like somebody deceived you? No one deceived you. You say you're grown up to get married, which means that you are grown up to know what is right and what is wrong. And I'm guessing you even said nobody should choose for you, you choose for yourself. Now you have chosen for yourself. You are making your private wahala now public wahala. All of us should come and carry your wahala for you. Does not make sense. So you now, as wise wives, you have now seen the challenges of failed parenting. One of the reasons why we're here is not just to cater very well for your husband. You are wise wives because you create the atmosphere for your children to become those kind of children that will not make this kind of mistake, that are educated in these areas so that they know the right thing to do. They know how to choose responsible people. They are not walking around looking for the guy that have dreadlocks and that is sagging. And because the boy is the one that's drawing the environment, that means it makes him a good boyfriend. They know how to measure what a responsible guy looks like. Do you yourself even know what a responsible guy looks like? Because you need to even know it to be able to teach your children. Not the one that buys the latest car. How does he buy the cars? Is he doing it based on intelligence, based on the right thing, or he's doing it based on one fraudulent way? So you now, what's it called, rack your daughter to that person because you see that he seems to be doing well. Is that what makes him responsible? So what does a responsible guy look like? A responsible single guy look like? So that you are able to advise right. These are the kind of tough questions I'm expecting to be asked, but especially by single ladies anyway. But if you choose to ask it so that you know how to raise your child, then yes, of course. Why do you think parents used to ask when you told them that you are liking somebody? They'll ask you which family is he from? Why do you think they ask about family? Because they're trying to trace genealogy. They want to know if that person is coming from a good tree, if he's stemming from a good tree. Because apples most likely don't fall far from the tree. If it's coming from one stupid family, say no, this one is born again, does not behave like his stupid brethren. Okay, let us see. Use your life to gamble it. Do you get it? So you need to know what is right so that you're able to raise your daughters and your sons the right way. Some of you already have girls, some of you have boys. How are you raising them? Are you teaching your boys to know how to nurture and how to cater for the home? You're already giving them responsibility so that they know that, oh, you get up, you sweep. You are the one to arrange the chair. You are the one to arrange this. I don't. They've gotten to the age where they don't need a nanny because they're supposed to be strong enough to do certain things. Even if there's a nanny in the house, let the nanny know what the nanny can do for them and what he cannot do for them, so that they will be useful to themselves, to the family, and to the society. So that's why we have a lot of bomboy husbands. Why? Because they were not raised right. They will not have a lot of what will I call the ladies now? What name do we want to call them? That thing that Instagram guys are the kind of that they are the kind of guys that they should get hooked up with. You know, the one that know how to make his hair, coil his hair. He knows the size of all the suits in the market, all the designer suit. Find out how is he sponsoring this expensive lifestyle. The one that his image is more important to him than every other thing. That is not a responsible guy. A guy that is into himself, that his image is very important to him. You will be secondary to that kind of guy. He will never put you first. He will always think what people will say more than what he will do about you. I'm in the process of mentoring a young boy right now. He's about 29 years old, and he got his girlfriend pregnant. The girlfriend is 23 years old. They just gave birth to the baby a few months ago. And I was talking to him yesterday, and he was telling me how he's not mentally ready to get married. I told him, I said, you are lucky that the girl is not my younger sister. I would have come to your house to beat you up, beat readiness into your head. You were ready to knock
I
her
was
and
just
get her
about to ask.
pregnant. That as in you were ready to get her pregnant. Now you are not ready to man up to take the responsibility of your action. Are you crazy? I was vexed in myself. I said, you are very lucky, not just because the girl is not my sister. If I was in the same area where you are, I would drive over to your house right now and hit your head with a bottle. Beats adulthood into your head. You know how to use your genitalia, but you don't know how to use your brain to maintain what you have produced. If you see the beautiful girl that they have, and he's telling me how he's not mentally ready, well, I will slap you all the way to Yaba left and back. You'll be mentally ready. Who have the time for that nonsense? When people know that they would be responsible for their actions, they will take those actions seriously. They will take it seriously. We need to raise our children to know that you are responsible for every action you take. Now you go carry them, just like my mom told us when I was a teenager. So we know none of my siblings gave birth to got a girl pregnant out of wedlock. We know if you get them pregnant, you don't marry and a free ticket. As in, and nobody's going to give you money for sponsorship of the wedding. You will raise the money by yourself. You will so raise the money. And it does not mean we don't love you. We'll come and dance with you. People need to be responsible. So, from the lady's perspective, how do you deal with a bomb boy? My first question is, how did you marry a bomb boy? Now that you have married a bomb boy, I don't know the bomb boy because these matters are unique. So every case is unique. We need to know who this bomb boy is and which areas in his life is a bomb boy. Then we'll tailor the solution based on the bomb boyhood of that particular bomb boy. Because different people are bomb boy in different areas. But generically speaking, the sister have to now make up for the guy's lack, whether she likes it or not. Generically speaking, she needs to now put him in prayers. She needs to now start doing things that ordinarily she might not need to do as much as she would have done now because she's put herself in that kind of scenario. So I hope I was not too passionate about my answer because this particular matter used to vex me quick. But I hope the answer was good enough. If you don't think so, you can ask me more, then I can clarify better. Thank you. All right, so next person.
Rabasata. Hmm.
It touched me.
Pastor man,
I'm with you.
I have a question. My question,
Okay, shoot.
like when he was talking, he said, "Don't be a failed parent." So I'm now
Mm-hmm.
wondering, what makes one a failed parent? I'm looking at the kind of world that we're in now. Children are wonderful, as much as you try to tame them. What at what level will you say that someone has failed as a parent? Sir, I know I'm digressing from the topic, but that actually caught my attention. That okay, when you say someone is a
Yes,
failed
I know.
parent. Mm.
Okay. So BSO, sorry, please. We are not in the same time zone as you are, so we have like I think 9 more minutes to wrap up, so that we can. Yes, 9 more minutes. Are you there, sir?
I am here. I said I was just getting warmed up. Oh, all
Yeah.
this thing that people just getting me, you just getting me warmed up. And now the thing begin is sweet. All right, let me try to answer this one very quickly. All right. Um, how do you know that you're a faith parent? How do you measure? First and foremost, it starts from not having a plan. As a parent, what is your plan for your family and for your children? We've had a class where we talked about it. If you're a parent and you don't yet have a plan for your children, a proper laid out plan, even if it's tentative, but at least written down somewhere, then you're already planning for failure.
Mm.
Do you get it? You need to first of all have a laid down. You have a boy, you have two boys, you have three girls, you have whatever the children that you have right now. What's the plan for your children? Because your plan for your children will determine the environment you choose to live. It will determine the school that you choose to send them to. It will determine the kind of friends you choose for them to have. It will determine the kind of communication that you have with them and that you allow them to have with others around them. It will determine whether you used to beat them black and blue so that whatever madness that entered their head would go. So whatever craze they picked up in school when they come home, the craze will wait for them at the gate.